Yooosin, guys, Arcane season 2 is out now. It is amazing. Please watch it. Riot and Fortiche, you guys killed it. Honestly, it's amazing to actually see these characters fleshed out. There's so much going on, and Jinx is honestly my favorite character. I'm sure you guys know. League is a home for me. I really like this, and I like that they're expanding this. That being said, they have more shows on the way, and I'm here to bring up a couple different options today, guys. There's so much good lore within League's atmosphere. There's so many good characters. There's so many good areas. For today's list, I kind of broke them up by different areas. You know how Arcane specifically was Piltover and Zaun. I have my list broken up by different cities and the characters that are within those cities. So first one I have for you guys today is Ionia. I think Ionia could be really cool. There's a lot of cool characters, a lot of cool lore going on there. It's kind of centered around Aurelia when it comes to Ionia, but you know what? I think they could have different options. Aurelia or Yasuo, I should say. Yasuo is a big one when it comes to League. Everybody loves Yasuo, but I think they could kind of pivot gears a little bit. There's some cooler characters. I really think if they made a show on Jhin or Varus, those would be my two favorite too. I think Jhin could shred the show. There's so much they could honestly put in there. There's that comic book where Jhin kind of fought Zed and Shen. There's so many characters, so much good stuff that could be put in. That's number one, guys. I really think you guys at Riot need to make a show about Jhin. For number two, I think the Void could be a good option. There's a lot of mystery, a lot of characters that are from the Void that are kind of evil, have their own objectives that they want to complete. There's a lot of cool stuff there, but I feel like they could pick the Void, and specifically they can make a show on Kai'Sa and kind of her journey, how she transformed to be what she is. And then you can also add in other characters like Kassadin, how they're related, and then Kassadin and his journey versus Malzahar. And then you can add in kind of on Malzahar's side some of the other characters, maybe like Cho'Gath or Vel'Koz. There's so many cool things they could do. It would be a darker show, I think. Not that Ionia wouldn't be, but I think Void would definitely be a lot darker. For number three, I think Bilgewater would be a good center place. It's basically Pirates of the Caribbean, but with League characters. And their spins, there's a lot of cool stuff they could put in there. They can make a show based off of either side of the spectrum. You can make one off of Gangplank or MF. I feel like that's where you kind of start and make it a pirate adventure. Then you can throw in other characters too, like there's Pike. There's so many good characters, but I think you could make a really interesting pirate show centered around these guys and kind of their hijinks. I think Shurima would be my next one on the list. Just a big epic adventure out in the desert. You can even bring it back to like olden times when they were still people if you wanted to, but I think honestly they can make a show, big action adventure honestly is a better way to say it, based off of like the god battles. Like put Renekton versus Nasus, add in Azir into the mix, you even have Talia kind of running around in her journey. I think it could be really interesting. This one, honestly, the Blessed Isles or Shadow Isles kind of already was expanded on a lot, but I think if they made it into a show format, it could be pretty cool in the journey, that everything that happened, how it went from the Blessed Isles and to the Shadow Isles, and all the characters it impacted. You could honestly pick one of the characters, make it like Hecarim or something in his side of the thing, or even Maokai and how he fits into the mix. I think they could make a really interesting show and somehow make it different than the big lore drop they did, what was it, a couple years ago. Either or, it could still be very interesting, I think. All right, for the last one I got here for you guys, I think is Mount Targon. There's not as many characters here at Mount Targon, but I think specifically you can make a journey around Pantheon and how he ascended into godhood. There's a bunch of stuff he could encounter along the way, a lot of cool characters you can add in the mix, and it could be kind of like this mythical adventure based around the mountain. Could be pretty cool. It doesn't have to be a long one, but I think it's well worth visiting. And I got some special mentions for you guys, because this is probably actually where the show is going with the leak with the Raven. It's probably going to Noxus, probably going to be around Swain, Darius, which could be cool. I'm not as interested versus the other ones, and I think Demacia is a kind of a runner-up here with a special mention with Silas and Lux and his whole journey there, but that one also has been played out a lot too. I don't know. I think there's a lot of other options that could be really cool and interesting. Riot, Please make these happen. These shows are awesome. If you guys like our content, you know, make sure to like, subscribe, check out some of our other videos. We're streaming a lot. We're trying to make Yooosin happen for you guys. Let us know what you think. See you in the next one, guys.